Superman. The movie we've all been waiting for, or dreading, or perhaps just vaguely aware of, depending on how many times James Gunn tweeted that morning. After years of DCU drama that could rival a Shakespearean tragedy, but with more capes and less coherent plotlines, the new DCU was heralded with one iconic name, Superman. This wasn't just a movie, it was a reset button, a mission statement, a cinematic exorcism of past failures. It was supposed to be the glorious dawn of a new era, but as we've learned with DC, even the dawn has its clouds. This is a tale of unprecedented hype, a creative process that felt like watching a tightrope walker juggle flaming chainsaws, and a box office performance that left everyone scratching their heads. Superman, 2025, the film that promised to make us believe a man could fly. Again. The architect of this new Kryptonian paradigm was none other than James Gunn, fresh off his Guardians of the Galaxy triumphs, and, let's call it a brief sabbatical from Marvel. Tasked with not just directing, but also writing the screenplay and co-heading the entire DC studios, Gunn was positioned as the undisputed visionary. His goal? To deliver a Superman that was relatable, heroic, and crucially, profitable. The casting, of course, was a saga in itself. After a seemingly endless parade of screen tests, David Corenswet finally donned the iconic red and blue, promising a new, more earnest Man of Steel. Alongside him, Rachel Brosnahan was cast as the perpetually intrepid Lois Lane, because who better to interview an alien than a woman who can deliver witty banter at 90 words a minute? And just to make sure we knew this wasn't your grandpa's DC, the roster quickly expanded to include Isabella Merced as the winged warrior Hawkgirl, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, and Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho. Because when you're rebooting the DCU, you clearly need to introduce half the Justice League in the first solo outing. It's called efficiency. Initial reports from the set were predictably glowing. Gunn frequently took to social media, diligently answering fan questions, and let's be honest, probably creating a few more, assuring everyone that this Superman would be different and true to the spirit of the comics. The cast, in turn, echoed his enthusiasm, describing a collaborative and exciting atmosphere. One couldn't help but feel a tingling sense of hope, or perhaps just the faint hum of a well-oiled PR machine. When it came to the screenplay, James Gunn was famously the sole credited writer, a stark contrast to the Fantastic Four's committee approach. This promised a singular, unfiltered vision, which, for better or worse, is exactly what we got. Reviews for the script were, shall we say, diverse. Some critics lauded it as a heartfelt return to Superman's core values, praising its earnestness and emotional resonance. Others, however, politely suggested it felt less like a focused narrative and more like a DC Comics Encyclopedia entry, trying to introduce approximately 14 new characters in the span of 2 hours. A bold, ambitious start, one review declared, that occasionally forgot to tell a cohesive story for its main character. Another simply mused, did Superman even get a full character arc, or was he too busy introducing his friends? The test screenings, as always, were a point of fervent speculation. While official reports from DC Studios were, as expected, resoundingly positive, audiences loved the heart. Whispers from anonymous sources told a slightly different story. Some praised the action and the fresh take on Clark Kent. Others, however, reportedly left asking, who exactly was the villain again? And why did we need 3 different teams of heroes showing up for a 5-minute cameo? The creative team, ever confident, dismissed any negative chatter as misunderstandings and adjustments, assuring the public that the final cut would be perfectly cohesive. We'll get back to that. The production itself was, predictably, gargantuan, with a reported production budget swelling to around $250 million. Superman wasn't just a movie, it was a statement. This positions it as one of the most expensive solo superhero films ever, a clear indication that Warner Bros. Discovery was putting all its eggs, and a significant chunk of its reported debt, into Gunn's basket. The movie bravely launched into theaters on July 11, 2025, kicking off the summer blockbuster season with the weight of an entire cinematic universe on its broad shoulders. Now, for the moment of truth. Superman debuted with a respectable, though not earth-shattering, opening weekend gross of approximately $92.3 million in North America. It managed to secure the top spot at the box office for its opening week, a small victory, before quickly being overtaken by the latest animated sequel in its second weekend. The film has limped its way to a worldwide box office gross of approximately $480.9 million. Breaking that down, its domestic gross stands at roughly $215.4 million, while the international gross accounts for about $265.5 million. Against its hefty $250 million budget, grossing just under $481 million means the movie has, charitably, scraped past its immediate production costs. But when you factor in global marketing, which for a film like this easily adds another $100 to $150 million, it's looking like a financial disappointment for Warner Bros. Discovery. A profit, perhaps, for the accountants, but hardly the runaway success needed to launch an entire cinematic universe with confidence. Superman represents a crucial, if somewhat shaky, first flight for the new DCU. From James Gunn's ambitious vision to the crowded cast, the attempts at both earnestness and excessive world building, and its ultimate box office performance, the film undeniably delivered something. Whether that something was the soaring triumph everyone hoped for, or just a slightly bumpy landing for a hero who perhaps had too many co-pilots in the cockpit, remains a question the DCU will spend years trying to answer. So, did this new Superman fly high, or did it just float? What are your thoughts on James Gunn's Superman? Did it herald a brave new world, or was it just another DC movie with too much going on? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the chaotic, wonderful world of superheroes.